Hey friends, today we're going to learn how to draw stuffed animals. And what they all have in common is a body, a head, and some legs. And whether it's 8 legs or 4 or 2, it doesn't matter. We all draw them the same way. And I start out drawing all of my creatures with ovals. I break everything in my mind down to very simple shapes. And you can see how in an armadillo that'd be easy. We have one big oval here and a little oval here. And if you can imagine, we have some little oval legs. But we're going to start today drawing my friend Douglas. And we're going to break him down into ovals. So whatever your character is, you're going to just break them down into the simplest form of ovals. And I do that really sketchy, really scribbly, sketchy, messy scribbles. Now, it's tempting to look at your dog or look at your stuffed animal and think, okay, I'm going to draw it perfectly right away and make very careful ovals. But that's not what I'm doing, because that's a lot of pressure and we're not building up our stuffed animal and giving it the depth and dimension that it really has. So what I'm doing is looking with my eyes and then looking back and forth at my paper and making very sketchy scribbles. So I'm going to scribble really fast. I'm scribbling and I'm just looking at what's in front of me, breaking down. I have my oval body, I have my oval head, I have a tiny little oval back here where the hand is, another oval back there where that other leg is. And then I'm like, oh, that's a little lopsided, this leg is a little farther down. And because I'm just scribble sketching, I can do it all over. Okay, so I'm over here being sketchy, looking to break down everything and do these sketchy little ovals. And the other reason I'm so sketchy is because I want to add a lot of like shading so that I have something to add lightness to so that you can see my highlights. So just like in life, you have to have dark in order to see the light. Like you have to have something be kind of messy and sketchy and dark in order to see the light parts. Like you wouldn't want to have only good days for the same reason. You wouldn't be able to see how great they are. Like you wouldn't be able to see my highlight if I'm putting highlight on a white page. You can only see it when it's showing up on this really sketchy ovally area. So now what I do, I've mapped out my body, right? It's just sketchy scribbles, and I'm going to look and squint my eyes and see where it's darkest. And when I squint my eyes, I'm seeing that it's darkest under the ear, in the body, where he's sitting. So I'm going to go in and I'm just going to real sketchy. I'm going to add more shading, making it much darker in the creases. Just real quickly moving my eyes up and down, looking under the ears. Oh my goodness, there's so much darkness right under that ear flap and under the ear. And then there's these really beautiful little wrinkles. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to articulate those wrinkles by shading. And as I'm doing that, it's kind of going to give some form to my arm. And I'm not being perfect with it. This isn't exactly right. You know, like if I were to measure and really take my time at it, I could probably get things a little more precise. But I'm more interested in adding my shading and getting him on paper. So I'm just adding shading where he's sitting. And you really get to define the space that he's in by adding this darkness underneath and really give weight to his body. Oh, and he has a little tail. Little tail is just a little strip of leather. And I didn't do that quite right. If I was really looking, there's a little bit of a bend to it. I'm just drawing that right on top. See, it doesn't bother me if I mess up. I can go back and change that later. Right now he kind of has a double tail situation. That's okay. That happens. Okay. So I've added my shading. And now that I have my shading, I'm going to go in and add my highlights. And how do we do that when we only have a pencil? Good question. So I think of my eraser not as something I use to erase my mistakes, but as a white paintbrush. And I am squinting my eyes again, and I'm looking for the lightest spots. And I see his cheek. And if I'm squinting, I see his hand is light, a little bit on the ear, and you can see where there's the most darkest shadows, there's also the brightest whites. So I'm going to go in and start adding those. And really, drawing is just adding light, adding darkness, adding light, adding darkness, adding light. And you could do it forever. Like you could just go back and forth, adding and subtracting over and over again. It's just my favorite thing to do. Just adding some light, adding some light. You can kind of see in the creases, like if you look real careful, there's light on either side of the crease. And you can exaggerate that. That's another kind of game we get to play when we're drawing is I have a crease in this leg. And I can draw it as I see it, or I can exaggerate it. What if I exaggerate it and I make those little seams bigger and little stitches bigger? It's not really what it looks like, but by exaggerating and making it really clear what's happening here. And then I can go in and add more light on either side. And you'll see I'm not really concerned about the fact that it's not the exact perfect shape of my character. I'm just trying to get it down that he's three-dimensional, that he has a weight to him, that some parts of him pop out more than others and come towards you. It's called foreshortening. And then I can even add his eye. And if you'll look, it looks like he just has a flat eye from one angle. Or do you see that little highlight? Does anyone see that? It kind of changes depending on where I'm at. But he actually has, two highlights. Oh, I love a double highlight. So in my eye, and that's the difference between something looking alive or not. I'm going to make his little eye and I'm going to give him two little highlights. And say you already covered it up, you can always add white and go back and add it again. And because Douglas doesn't really have very many facial features, his facial features are just made up from his stitching. You can kind of add that stitching. And now we're going to do something that might seem a little crazy. We're going to take our finger and shade everything and make it kind of muted. And this is going to make everything less contrasty. So the whites aren't going to be as white and the darks aren't going to be as dark. But it's going to blend everything together real nice and smooth. And all we need is our finger for that. And it's just going to kind of mute everything down. And then we're going to go back and do exactly what we just did, but this time with a little bit more intention. And you'll see that even though this is just one round, and you could do 100 rounds of this if you were trying to make an absolute hyper-realistic character. And if you were to do a portrait, you could go do this a whole bunch of times. But now you see I have this basis for my character. So I'm going to now look at him a little more carefully and do the same thing. So I'm going to add, I'm looking at his ear, and I'm going to go in with my eraser, using my eraser like a white paintbrush. And I'm really going to define, almost drawing with my eraser, the whiter highlights. It's a little lighter right across the top. And I'm going to go in with my pencil I'm really looking at that ear. Know what's happening there. This is going to be different for every stuffed animal, but you're really looking with your eyes now. And I'm going in and kind of outlining very specifically what I see. And I'm just concentrating now on one piece. Like we were kind of looking at our whole character before. Now we're just looking at the ear. Just taking one piece at a time. If I'm going to be real crazy specific, I can see that that ear has like a little bit of a side to it. So maybe I kind of add that. I'm just looking at one piece at a time. And then I'm going to go look at my eyeball. I'm just looking at that one piece. And this is where you can have a lot of fun because there's no rules here. I can keep Douglas just like he is, right? And this is Douglas and this is his life, super cute. Or I can use my imagination. And that's the most fun thing about drawing what you see from life is you can see what's really there, but then you can also add from your imagination. And that combination, you know, you can draw and just draw what you see, and you can draw just from your imagination. But the combination is really where you can have some fun. So maybe I want to give Douglas a party in which I crown Douglas royalty. So I'm going to give Douglas a cool little crown, and maybe there's some gemstones in that crown. And that doesn't really exist, but because I am in charge here of what happens on my paper, I can make anything happen. And as long as I shade it in the same way, it will match. And maybe now I have a crown for Douglas. Maybe Douglas needs his own stuffy. What do you think? I think he does. I'm not sure what it should be. Maybe it is, oh, maybe it's a little, I don't know. Is it a fish? I think it's a fish. So I've erased a little bit, adding some whiteness. And I'm going to give Douglas his very own stuffy, and it's going to be a stuffed fish. And I'm doing this the same way I'm doing all of our stuffed animals. A fish would just be one big oval with a smaller oval tail and maybe some little oval fins that I turn into different shapes as I go along. And I'm shading the edges to make it three-dimensional, really shading underneath because that's where the darkness would show up in real life, and shading under Douglas's chin where he's snuggling his stuffy. And then maybe to show that this is really a stuffy, maybe this fish eyeball is a button. Like, so it'll kind of look a little homemade, right? And maybe its mouth is made of really clear stitching. And then I can outline. And maybe I want to go back and add the stitching. And I really exaggerate these stitches so that it matches the rest of Douglas. And I'm going to finish Douglas's shading up by shading his arm, adding the rest of his stitching, maybe going in and re-adding those highlights that got a little muted when I went in and smeared it. But I just kind of go back and forth between smearing and adding highlight and smearing, adding highlight. And eventually, we will call it enough. We'll call it a day. But there's a lot you can do. You can do with your stuffed animal at this point. You could continue just going back and forth with your pencil, or you could add some colored pencil, or you could add some watercolor right on top. And I'll show you some examples of that. And what do I do over here where I kind of went crazy and made my own rules with where the tail was? Just erase that extra one and look more times at where those highlights really are. And if they're too harsh, I smear them with my finger. And if I smeared them too much, I go back and add them again. And if that's too much, I go back and I smear it again. And like I said, you could do that over and over again until you get it right. And if you don't love it, it just might need some more smearing and more adding and more exaggerating. So I'm looking a little bit more at his nose. And I'm not really worried. It doesn't look absolutely like him, but it definitely looks like a relative of Douglas, if not Douglas himself. And I'm going in and I'm exaggerating those stitches. It's really, you can feel the weight of him because you see that he is sitting on this pedestal. It's very, very shadowed underneath. And he's kind of three-dimensional because of his shading. He has the darkest darks. Again, if I squint some more, I go back to squinting, I see that it's really darkest under the arms and where he's sitting. So I just go back and forth doing that, cleaning up a little bit. Cleaning up areas that look messy to me. Adding a little bit more. Okay. So there we have Douglas in his little hat. Let's see. And that's where he looks right now, just as pencil. What do we think? It's close. I'm happy with him. And now I'm going to add a little color.